Hi Starseeds, it's Sikaal and Opheana. We're spiritual life coaches and cosmic shamans, and we want to talk to you guys today a little bit about the end of 2018 and moving the energy forward into 2019.
Yes, today we want to be a little spontaneous and just kind of hang out a little bit with you so that we can, feel into how was 2018 for you, and really sealing up this very intense year of non-stop waves of energy, of non-stop change, of asking for change, of inspiration, of creation energy just pounding through constantly. The creation of the new earth, it's birthing constantly. Mother Gaia is ascending. The sun is just absolutely supporting the process with constant solar winds and geomagnetic forces. There's just so much going on. And so we want to really sort of overlook what we've all sort of been through, what we're still moving through, sealing up to a certain extent. The solstice, Christmas time, end of New Year. It's a big time of year for the matrix, for the collective, for humanity. So collecting our thoughts, contemplating, well, what does it all mean? Where do you want to be? Do you want to do a bit of a ceremony? Do you want to come to a certain place for the new year, for the new beginning? What is it? Where do you want to be for the next year? Where do you want to be now? Are you really where you want to be? Because that's what we're all being asked non-stop. That's what Sikaal and our family have been asked non-stop, and we keep stepping it up. We are asked and we're like, okay, here we go, the next one. And we're asked again, and that's what we also ask of you and our clients as well. The next step, what are you doing? What are you not doing? What is it that's coming up for you? Look at it, don't ignore it, don't deny it. It's time to look at this stuff, and it's absolutely just really not worth it by sitting back and saying, this is more comfortable. This is Earth, and I just want to experience my humanity. That's okay. I'm a good person. I'm kind. We understand this. We understand the intensity, the strength, the pull, the magnetic pull, the limitations everywhere that keeps just attracting you away from your center. However, you really consciously chose to be here at this point in time because it is such an intense time. And that means you're strong enough. That means you're powerful enough. That means somewhere within you, there is enough strength and power to do whatever it takes to let go of whatever it is that you need to let go of to get to where you are supposed to be as a starseed, wanderer, whatever you want to call yourself, because it doesn't even matter.
It's just a name.
It's labels, it's names. The only reason why we use it is to trigger, wake up, wake up, wake up. I'm getting loud again.
Yeah, I mean, what you're feeling and what you've been feeling in 2018 is a constant shifting of timelines. Why? Because your presence, your spirit, your team is guiding you to where you really want to go. The other side of that is a constant pull back into your human skin. And you're both, but predominantly when you go deeper into your meditative state, when you go deeper into your presence, into yourself, you know that you're here at this time on a light worker mission, a starseed mission, a telepathic, empathic, whatever name you want to give it, a spiritual mission. And you'll get to experience a human life alongside of that, but it's not that your human life, from our point of view, which we're sharing with you guys, is the first predominant thing that you're focusing on. It's really about raising your ascension consciousness by allowing the timelines to shift really fast, to change really fast, to move through you really fast, and to know that you're continuously being realigned and brought to places that are more suitable to what you really want, and that's going to make you the happiest. And it's kind of like we go on about the same thing from a different angle all the time, because it's really that simple. When you allow it, when your willingness raises, you are brought to new places and new places. You flow with the river that consciousness moves through you, that spirit moves through you. This consciousness river is your guideline. And sometimes you just kind of want to hold on to the side of the shore and cruise a little in your human skin. And we understand that. However, the pressure of water behind you is only going to build, and it's only going to create a less smooth journey. So one of the things I think that has been not just 2018, but definitely heightened, is surrendering, letting go, being willing, and following that guidance, even if you don't know exactly where it's leading you. You know, often Spirit will show you a little ways ahead on your journey, but not further than you can handle or that you're ready for. And then once you face really big initiations, what happens is you often get shown the next larger part. Why? Because you're ready. You've faced that initiation and you've moved through it. And we're not saying fully ignore your human life, but we're saying have your human life stable in a way that suits your mission. Why? Because this is going to make you the happiest. Yes. This is going to allow you to be the puzzle piece you came here to be. And what 2018 brought, our sense is 2019 is only going to bring, and much stronger. Why? Because the energies are just going to keep ramping up. So change is going to be faster. Timeline shifts are faster. What yesterday seemed as this course for the next week has shifted again. It's that fast if you allow it to move through. And if you're afraid of change that fast, see if you can surrender into it through meditation and allow yourself to feel safe in change. Like, you know, you're on a raft and the river goes faster. Try to enjoy that a little bit more rather than plunging onto the sides. And we understand both sides, so let yourself sink in. And the ultimate surrendering through to that into Spirit is the understanding that Gaia and Spirit and your teams will always have your back. And if you feel I'm going to make a mistake because I need to decide so quickly, you're not going to make mistakes, because your Spirit will always realign you if you feel you've gotten off track. It's often more about making a move forward and allowing that flow to carry you further rather than holding on to old ways or diving back into old ways of thinking because you think it's going to keep you safer. That is the true illusion. The true illusion is you're a multidimensional being here. And that's the reason why you probably tune into this particular channel, because you have a resonance to it. You're a multidimensional being. You're bigger than a human form. Your spirit is in this human form, so you're setting up a human life here, and you're pretending linear time is real. But if you elevate into no time, no space, like in your meditations, you understand that everything is sort of happening at the same time, and that you're so much bigger, and all of your multidimensional gifts you'll have access to here on Earth once you start opening up your multidimensional portals, once you start letting in that information by surrendering, by allowing the change, by moving with the change, by being honest with yourself and the world around you, who you truly are and what it is that you really like. You know, and we felt today we really wanted to just, it felt like a sealing up of that 2018 years and an opening up into the 2019 years. And we just wanted to flow with Spirit to see what Spirit wants to bring through us today for you. So, you know, this one today is not particularly about the ascension energies, but they're driving this whole process of change, this whole process of ever-shifting timelines for the collective, but also for your journey and the choices you make within that. Because as a starseed, you can maneuver faster than the collective can. So why you can get yourself into position every single time, and to the position where you want to move and be in contact with the people and the organizations, and where you need to be. And why you want to be there might not be clear, but the fact that you're guided there is clear. That's the type of stuff you need to start trusting. You know, and getting out of everything that locks you down.
Yes.
Which we've said before, like, you know, jobs that you've just been in too long, mortgages that tie you down and make you cry in your heart every single day, those are things that are no longer needed. And it doesn't mean that if your mortgage is totally fine and you're cruisy with it, or you have loans and you're on top of them with a budgeting system, that's totally fine. We're not saying everything against loans and mortgages and everything, but everything that ties you down, yes. Everyone that draws you down, yes. Old friend groups, family that doesn't support you, yes. We're saying that is not suitable for your mission. That's not what's going to make you happy. It's like you go to this buffet of foods and you always have to still eat what you no longer like. Why would you do that? You don't do that, do you? You grab the foods that you enjoy. As an example, why would you do it in other areas of your life? It doesn't make sense. It doesn't align with who you are. And who you truly are is this multidimensional starseed. You're not truly the human. The human is the form supplied by Gaia that you're connected into. And yes, you're creating a human life. As in many other realms, you're creating another life, a Syrian life, a Venusian life, an Andromedan life, etc. at the same time. And then on Earth, there's the fun of the linear timeline, so you can have a lot of multiple, a lot of different lives that you've had on Earth from your spirit's point of view. So all of that is connected in.
Yes. I would like to play a little game with you. What all of these people in this lifetime, the ones that are so hard for you to let go of, or it's just beyond comprehension, because they've helped you so much, or they're your parent, or they're your sister, or you're this or you're that, and it's just not what you do. That's it, period. I'm not letting them go, even if they're like 700 points less than me. What about the people in those lifetimes, 3 lifetimes ago? Why are you not hanging out with them? Your wife, your husband, your children, where are they? Why are you not with them right now? Because it's a past life, and that's where we need to get to. They're all souls. All of these people are souls in your life, and the people in all of your many multitude of lifetimes, in every other lifetime. You still love them, but you're not gathering, you're not living with them, you're not, having drinks with them, calling them every week to make sure, you're doing the right thing. There's an intensity in the field because the illusion is so strong that just because it's this lifetime, you were born with some of the same DNA that you need to stick together. It's not truth, because it's a past life now. It was in this incarnation, but it was a past life.
Past timeline, you can say.
A past timeline, but use your past lives and see that if you raise above all of it, the soul that you are incarnated in also was in relationship with many other people. If you held on to all of them, what would happen? You would be very anchored in old timelines.
Yeah.
Funny that.
Yeah.
You would be anchored in old timelines. Funny that. You would be anchored in old... So my presence is hardcore. You would be anchored in old timelines. What's that? You would be anchored in old timelines.
Yep, and a key word there is anchored, locked down,
shackled,
non-flowing. Ever-flowing consciousness is what you're looking for. Why? Because then that's the adaptability of life. A tree always flows with every wind and moves in different directions, and then a tree is static in itself. But energy moves, energy shapes and shifts all the time. That is the truth of you. And so you can change with the collective consciousness, your journey. That's why your spirit is guiding you, and what seems right one week has changed the next day or the next week. Why? Because elements in the collective have changed. All of the gears are shifting and changing, and so you're being asked to shift and change along with that. It's not a scary thing. It's actually a fun thing. And will it push you to your limits? Yes, we can honestly say it will. Will new initiations come that seem too big to handle? Yes, they will. But once you move through them, The sense
Hallelujah.
of spirit being anchored in this physical vessel gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And you know, you come to realize that we've presented to you from our spirits the ascension consciousness scale up to 1,000, but it keeps going beyond that. And beyond that is when more of your multidimensional gifts will come in, and it will keep going as you raising your frequency. So for those of you that had the idea that it stops at 1,000, it doesn't. However, will a lot of humanity and the starseeds stay within that realm? Possibly. But will a select group move beyond that? Yes, and they're the ones that will drive forth this continual growth in consciousness, because that's what Gaia is doing, that's what the solar system is doing, that's what the galaxy is doing, and that's what all souls are being asked to do. So the star seeds are also finding their place within that, and part of it is allowing yourself to move into the ascension consciousness that you have committed to as a spirit. And if you feel you need to stay at a certain level for a while, let's say 700 or 800, and you're really guided and it's not driven by fear of change or wanting to hold on to the old, then that's your guidance, because potentially you have a role there to assist other starseeds and humanity to wake up at that level. However, if you're doing it because you want to be comfortable or you're afraid to move forward, then that's not the right reason. So if it's clear guidance, that's what you're looking for. As far as something that's important to share as well is the souls and the star seeds that we are guided more and more to work with where we are right now in our timelines are the ones that are very driven, almost beyond driven, to move themselves through to the 1,000 and beyond. Why? Because those are the ones we can really help. You know, in the past we worked with a lot of people, helped them with EFT and kinesiology, with moving through, you know, issues and letting go of trauma and things like that, or helping them clear their multidimensional field of invasive energies. But that's starting to shift to us very quickly, where it's really about helping star seeds that are beyond driven to really keep moving forward and be all they can be, anchor as much spirit as they can be here, and guide them through working in trinity with our presences and their presence and our teams. So if that's something that excites you and that sits in your heart and your spirit is guiding you, then you can intend that for 2019 to work with us in that way. But for us, the time of working against the flow of resistance of someone that is not willing to follow the guidance from spirit, that's moved on for us as well from our particular timeline. Why? Because we're changing and guiding in a different way all the time. So particular sessions with us are mainly with the star seeds that are really wanting to move through. However, we're also guided to keep putting out these videos, weekly meditations, EFT tapping tools, kinesiology muscle testing, the manual that you can do all of your own multidimensional clearing. It's all available. So that means anybody can help themselves. And for those ones that do, like we said, want to move forward in a very quick, expanded way and find their new place or their new, you know, expression in creating a fourth density or 5D world, that's really connected to us within private sessions at the moment. So follow that guidance within yourself, and if that sits within you, you can intend that in your timeline. You can create that in your timeline. So that's something important to share as well, I feel.
Yes, absolutely. We're really at a place where we feel like we are giving a lot of tools so that anybody can empower themselves. Yep. You know, there are so many other tools that we haven't shared where you can also use to empower yourself. What we share, we've found to work in the highest for us and for the people that we work with. And so we share these because it's no longer what we necessarily want to be doing within sessions, and we're happy to continue sharing tools in this way, transmitting what it is, where you can help yourself, where you can really empower yourself and find that place. And like Sikaal said, the river is flowing very powerfully through us, and so we do not want to flow the river against somebody's flow. And so to feel very deeply, how fast do you want to flow? And if you want to flow as fast as you possibly can, as powerfully as you possibly can, and your willingness is there, and you're willing to do whatever it takes on the highest level with integrity, love, and the highest light quotient possible, that's where we're at. That's where we're at now. And this is not exclusivity. This is, we can't hold back anymore. We can't baby anyone through anything anymore. All you will get is pure love, light, and truth. A lot of light, because usually, you know, the other stuff's covered. A lot of light, a lot of truth. The areas will hit very strongly, very clearly, very powerfully, refined truth. The presences come through. And so the change needs to happen, and we can feel it very powerfully if change is going to happen or not. And so I guess we're putting the call out so that we want you to empower yourselves. It's all there for you. However, if you are beyond driven, as Sikaal said, then we're here. We're really here, and that's the keys that we have to unlock the next doors for you, if that's where you want to go. And so it really is teamwork at this level. It's really high level presence teamwork, where we come together and we move forward, you know, like galactic teams, like Ashtar Command working together. It's very universally held. It's very multi-dimensional work, but it's also very practical, daily, you know,
super
tangible, operational, refined steps moving forward, always within your own truth. Always within your own truth, but we will not hold back. So we wanted to share this with you. We wanted to flow this just so that, you know, because we often have to give refunds to people because they're just not ready to do sessions with us. And then there's others that might be ready, and you're just like, oh, I just want that next push forward. We're here for you in that way.
And you know, it's very important to understand that can be in one session. It doesn't have to be this whole string of sessions. It's about the energy is, I mean, a first step is getting your ascension consciousness reading done, and then preferably your energy body reading if you really feel driven to work with us. And then we work in Trinity. But, you know, our channels are very clear, so the energy comes through very powerfully. If that cannot be received by our client, it doesn't work both ways. It sort
hurts both ways.
It hits and it's not matching up. And this is why we're sharing this information, because that's what happens as we raise in our ascension consciousness. We can assist you as well to move forward in yours. And all the other tools are there as well. If you still need to work with your emotional stories and your emotional attachments and your belief systems, all of the tools are there. If you need to learn how to do your energy management, clear entities and cords and all those type of things, the tools are all there. You know, and those things are addressed in sessions. It's not like we don't touch them, but it's not the primary focus any longer. The primary focus is very quickly and a lot of guidance from your spirit and your teams on your next steps, all the way to strategic to operational, really day-to-day things. And it's very exciting. And a lot of it is often moving people through where they didn't even realize they were stuck in the old, and showing them what spirit is guiding them to their next steps.
Another perspective.
Another perspective, and then it's always up to the client to see what steps they want to take from that session. However, the willingness to make a move with the guidance from spirit is very important and powerful.
So, to just come back to the reason why we're all doing this is really to anchor the love and the light on this planet with Mother Gaia, to assist as many beings on this planet to ascend to the next level.
Yeah.
People are mucking around. People are pretending that the human doings are very important. They're not. That's where we're at. They're not. And so the veils have dropped, and it's time to own that. And that's very important at this point in time, because if you keep yourself anchored and tied up in the human doings and beings and the importance of the shoulds and the must-dos, and the kids have to be a certain way, and this and that, and that's just my role, and roles, identities, the inability to let go in certain areas, the non-freedom in certain areas, all of those things, it's old now, but nearly everyone is still caught up in this stuff.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating. It's fascinating. It's absolutely fascinating. We completely understand it, where we continually break through ourselves. However, we don't stop. People keep stopping. Just keep checking. Am I stopping? Am I holding? Am I anchoring myself?
Yeah.
Am I tying myself up because of a lower mental idea that I can't go any further? It's going to get more and more uncomfortable. Something very bad is going to happen. I cannot be non-human on this planet because no one else is.
Yeah.
So I'd rather stay where I am. I'd rather stay a little bit more human, so that I'm not going to be alone, etc. You know, some of the biggest fears people have is being alone, is that deep loss. Really facing those deep areas of loss in all areas of past lifetimes, this lifetime, the past lives within this lifetime. Really looking at what do you truly believe you're going to lose, because all of that is holding you back from such extraordinary potential, because we see why we're here. We see why we're here. Do you see why you're here? It is important to see why you're here. You're not here to live a basic human life. Yes, it was necessary so that you could have free will to do what you came here to do.
Yeah.
The forgetting part is big. We get it. We get it, but break through. It's time to remember. It's time to wake up. This is the highest, most important thing. And if you have any intention on continuing to grow, you know deep down that this is in the highest. Because to be completely honest with you, there's just not enough people doing it. There's just not enough starseeds being serious enough, dropping deep enough, going there, truly breaking through to allow for the shift that is very, very, very possible. And so we are again putting out another call to really drop deeper in 2019, to not just say, yes, I remember, I'm Starseed. Seriously. Remember why you chose to come to this lifetime.
Yeah, beautiful. And I think the energy, flowing that energy through, it's about dropping out of the concept of getting it, understanding the starseed and the multidimensionality, and understanding it all into actually actioning it. And also the team wants to say very clearly, and our presence is that it's not about, doing and keep busy in that way. It's about keep up with the change that you're asked for, while being in as much balance as you can with your masculine, your feminine, and your divine inner child.
Yes.
So as a unit you travel. It's not the 3D, I've got to get more done, I've got to get more done, I've got to go faster and fast. No, it's not that, because there will be times where you need to sit for a few months and retreat. And then you've got to face that initiation. That might be one of the biggest ones in your life, that you know you don't really want to, but you know you need to. And then when you sink into that, you'll find all the support that you need. this is what we're saying. Many of you can drop deeper out of the conceptual idea of, I agree with everything you're saying. Yes, we're multidimensional, and yes, it's about anchoring more love and light quotient, and yes, I do my weekly meditations. All of that is sort of very important, and it's always the base and doing your energy management. But beyond that, it's about committing to your presence and committing to the next steps, because it's an exciting ride. And it will push your limits, but you don't have to be afraid of that, because you're being brought to more and more peace, more and more harmony, more and more love, more and more light.
Alignment.
And will it in the beginning seem like you're moving away from people? Yeah, because you're raising in consciousness. Only then, if everybody else does that, that's where you'll meet up again. So a splitting of the timelines between the old world and the new world is necessary to actually anchor this new timeline reality. Because remember, we're actually not building a new world over there. It's actually energetically happening by locking in that timeline. And that happens when more people raise to that level of consciousness and understand that we're here to create a new way of living for those that choose it. And that is the new earth. That is the new 5D or fourth density earth at a higher frequency, where love and light and empowerment reign, and no longer all of the stuff that we already know about in 3D. Yes. So it really isn't a new earth, 1,000 miles over there. It's energetically a different bandwidth that is anchored, and that's what you're called forth, because you have a role there, you have a puzzle piece there, and so your presence continually asks you to be brave. So flow with the changes, catch up with yourself, and be really, really, really honest. All of the tools are there, even on the 2 channels we have, and on Define Heart, all that you need to do this is there. It's all available. It's just about you committing to it and being brave to keep moving forward and not get locked down into, but I'm so afraid. Well, then face that fear. Instead of being locked down by the fear, move through the fear, or move through the, yeah, but I just want to be more comfortable. It's already so hard for me and I'm already so tired. Yeah, but if you can sink through that and call in more of your teams, call in more of your presence, because perhaps you're not calling on enough support. And that's what's going to help you. So that's the lesson you need to learn, is that you're not alone. Your spirit and your teams are there, but you need to call them in. So all of those things, that really is something to aim for in 2019. Make that part of your resolution, to allow more of your spirit and your spirit teams to guide you, and then actually accept every initiation that comes your way. It's really, really going to make you so much more of who you are, which then brings you more of your gifts, which then allows you to unfold, and before you know it, you have access to all of those things that you so deeply, deeply want.
Yes, it's really, again, the deathing process. Face a death in all areas of your life.
Yeah.
I mean, really, what's the worst that can happen? You might feel lonely for a bit. I mean, then you can go, well, I'll just go back to all the people and do whatever. Give it a good go. Give it a good go, because you could be very surprised.
And
go,
keep
oh my
giving
God,
it a go.
So good.
Yeah, keep giving it a go.
Yeah, we were on and on about getting people to 700. That's old news now, people. It's old news now. It's kind of getting to the new guru complex area. There are a lot of people that have a lot of issues that have gotten past that 700 point, because Gaia is raising, so people are being pulled and dragged up. So I'm not saying, I'm not being negative here, people. The reality is, this is where it's at. And we are just sharing the truth that is running through, that if you pass 700, 750, getting towards 800, you have the ability to be moving tens weekly, just non-stop, just like huge amounts of points non-stop, if you get the feel and the flow of what it takes to let go, to surrender, to anchor more presence. That's you get the feel of it, and you feel the deathing process, and you realize, it's a shell falling away. More of my presence, more of my light, more of my truth. I feel it, I want more of that. And then you grow that much more, and then you become more of who you are. And guess what? You become less of who you were, and you're like, but that's who I was. No, it's not. That was a personality keeping you very safe. And your personality gets used to it, and your personality's like, oh, I like this growth too. I feel lighter and I'm safe, and I didn't actually die. I thought I was going to die and I didn't die. It's really about embracing the deathing. It's about embracing the rebirthing. It's about allowing there to be past lives and really
past timelines.
Just allow yourself to be true to yourself, no matter what that's going to look like to the outside world or your personality, lower mind.
Yeah, and it's the difference with the conceptualization of all of this, that you understand it. That's very important, but it's the remembering of it. And the difference is between, like Opheana said, continually we find that letting go and surrendering and allowing change to move forward and facing your initiations, those things allow you to anchor more love and light, which raises your ascension consciousness permanently to those levels. Doing a powerful meditation raises it temporarily and gets you the keys needed to make the changes, but then you've got to still effectuate the changes and make them locked in, because or else what you're doing is you raise yourself to 900 in a meditation and you drop back to 700 in your daily life, and then you raise yourself again on the weekends when you do your meditation, you drop back. It's a cycle that your spirit wants you to move to permanently and beyond that. So that's really what's important.
Yes.
One thing I feel to share as well is a little bit about one of the bigger initiations we've moved through in this year. And I mean, one of them is continual change. So for us, continually reforming ourselves, how we share, what we share, because that's what we're guided to almost on a daily basis, but definitely on a weekly basis. And we check in all the time and what's new. And we've learned to understand that what seemed to be the way forward very clearly a week ago has changed, and we change. Why? Because we found that's the easiest and gets the best results. That being said, one of the really big things that we're moving through continually and have been for a while is the whole understanding that you can feed your physical body on energy, the whole pranic nourishment, pranic living journey. You know, we move through different waves of that, and it starts with, you know, moving into a vegan diet, and then, you know, reducing your food intake. And so there's so many mini initiations within all of that. That's been a big, exciting, huge initiation for us this year.
Yes, absolutely. And it's, you know, being 100% nourished by prana rather than you know, physical food on planet Earth isn't for everybody. It's not in everybody's blueprint.
Yeah.
It's part of ours, and so we're on this initiation, and we are following guidance constantly. And recently I didn't eat food for 3 weeks, and you know, you may have noticed a few changes in my physicality. And during that process, Sikaal within Pure Divine Union took care of pretty much everything while I really went into retreat. And within that, being the twin flames that we are, we really went through a similar process. And both of us, before and after, just having very small, very small amounts of calories. Therefore, our bodies are nourished on energy from the universe, and this is you know, really bringing in more and more presence. And so you can imagine not eating for 3 weeks, like no food, is quite an initiation. So the reason why we wanted to share it is that we don't ask this stuff of you without going through it constantly ourselves, and upping it constantly and expanding to the next level and constantly getting new information. I mean, the clarity that comes with cleaning out old, you know, lower density foods is extraordinary. And so that's why, you know, we wanted to share from a new place of, we are constantly called to change. The universe is constantly calling for all of us to change, because this is the next phase on this earth. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So many blessings for the anchoring of the good anchoring of the new timelines coming for you,
Yeah.
the new timelines that you commit to, the new timelines that you're willing to, you know, really get into, open your willingness to drop the beliefs, the veils. We understand how deeply difficult it is at times, but we also know how powerful you are and that you have it within you. It's all there within you, and that's why we give the tools, we give the tools, we give the tools, because we want you to have what you need to be able to do it yourself. We can all do this ourselves. And yes, we are here for support, continual support, and we're always anchoring every time we do meditations. We're
Absolutely.
always assisting everyone as much as we possibly can. So do the work you need to do. Do your constant meditation. Make the steps you need to make in your daily life. Make the changes. Do the tapping or whatever tools that you use to, whenever there is a misalignment, look deeply into it. If you don't have time for that, change your freaking life to make time for it. It's key.
True.
It's very important.
Yeah.
That's why you're here. Remember, this is the key now. It's all that, the human stuff. It's time, guys. It really is. And it's hard to see that because the outside world's still running. But just go deeper.
Yeah.
Just go deep. And I know a lot of you are, and it feels like we're slapping you all about, but we love you, and you're our brothers and our sisters and our, like, seriously, come on.
Yeah.
We can do this. We can do this. You know, we can.
Now, as you're mentioning that, the team wants to offer a little ceremony. If people want to seal up 2018 and open up 2019, here's the steps that you would go about. So they're giving you some practical steps. Grab any one of the meditations and you'll find the same steps to having your meditative space. What you want to do is set up your pillar first. Won't go through it. There's way too much information out there on how to set up your pillar. Then you call in your teams and you anchor the temples. You sit in meditative space on the evening, for instance, of the 31st of December in your country. And you call in your teams. You ask for everything to be sealed up in 2018, for the timelines to be sealed up, for everything to flow with grace and ease, and just allow yourself to go through a process that's natural to you. This doesn't have to be a huge, long process. You can do this in 10 minutes or an hour as guided. And then you also open up the timelines for 2019. Now, a special dispensation the teams would like to offer each and every one of you who wants to do this is for those timelines to be prepared by 100,000 angels. And that may seem very, you know, a little bit much, but that's what they're offering. And we found that that is very helpful because they can help with all sorts of small parts of your timeline so that the flow is graceful and easy. So call in those 100,000 angels and they will assist you to flow through and prepare your timelines in the early parts of 2019 and beyond. So do that, call them in, call your support teams in, and when it feels complete and you've put forth your intentions for the year, you seal that up, come fully back into your here and now, and it's done.
Beautiful.
So that is a beautiful New Year's ceremony offered to you right there.
Absolutely.
Very simple to do and very powerful with you, your presence, and your teams.
Beautiful. I just wanted to add in relation to the initiations we're going through, we're going to share more and more in the future about physical food because we're doing a lot of the energy body readings. And you know, there's some of you that, I mean, are getting 20% pranic nourishment, which means that 20% can be cut down from your food. The more that you raise, you can sort of cut down if you choose to. You know, like I got chubby on prana. Like that was I was going to do like this video. I got fat on prana because I wasn't really eating that much, but I just got like all this big layer. I'm like, oh, it's just all the energy is just like anchor. I didn't need the food, and for a year I've been full on, you know, 300 to 500 calories a day, just full. So, you know, we can live on very little when there's enough energy pouring in. And so we will share more about this in the future, not to put pressure on anyone to do this, to have the understanding that this divine temple can be supported deeply, energetically, can be healed on so many levels as well by moving through that and raising above lower frequency foods, etc. So just thought I'd add that little bit. Many divine blessings for the sealing up if you choose to do a sealing up. It's really just a choice on when you do it. it's an opportune time. A lot of people have some time off and to contemplate and to do some writing and meditation and really feel into and remember why you're here. The puzzle piece, truly the puzzle piece. And like Sikaal said, it's not always about the doing of the mission. It's about anchoring the beingness of who you are here.
Yeah.
That's the biggest key. Who are you, and what do you feel you want to be doing and being?
Beautiful.
We
Thank
love
you
you guys.
so much, guys. Have a beautiful one, and we'll see you again in 2019.
Yes, we will.
Many blessings.
Thank you.